Sorry to you all. We had a bit of a technical issue, but we are back on track. Right. Miss Debbie, Miss Regina, welcome back.
Why are you laughing?
Right. I think at this.
Be happy like that.
Does someone send you money?
Or you've already eaten your breakfast.
But pretenders.
All right, let's dive into our news items for this morning. Baumia outlines 6 policy priorities to position Africa as global AI leader. Former Vice President Mr. Baumia says Africa can become a global leader in AI, but only with deliberate action. He made this known at the LSE Africa Summit 2026, hosted by the London School of Economics and Political Science. Dr. Baumia stressed that Africa must move beyond talk and focus on building strong foundations for AI development. 1. Infrastructure. Invest in reliable electricity and fast internet to support digital innovation. 2. Data systems. Build secure and trustworthy data systems to power AI while protecting users. Thirdly, skills development. Train large numbers of people with AI and digital skills across the continent. 4. Government capacity. Strengthen how governments procure and use AI solutions effectively. Ethics and regulation. Ensure AI systems are fair, transparent, and accountable. And lastly, regional collaboration. Encourage African countries to work together to build a unified digital market. His main message: Africa must build systems first before chasing advanced technology. He added that with the right investment and cooperation, Africa can move from being a consumer to AI to becoming a global player in the field. So this is from our former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who outlined 6 policy priorities to position Africa as global AI leader. But are we capable, or are we prepared as Africans to compete with globally in the AI space? And now you say we can only be consumers of it. Miss Regina?
Okay, so from where we are standing currently as Africans, I think the best thing now is to just be consumers, because looking at the things he outlined himself, he knows, hey, Masa African Hanuma, and especially Ghana, electricity is not stable. It's just like you wanting Africa or Ghana to be the hub or the major source where everyone comes in for their cold food, or maybe for their meats, fishes. And you know that when it has to do with meat and fishes, it is electricity. It has to be very cold. Either than that, it will get rotten and it will start smelling. So imagine Africa or Ghana being the major hubs, giving out fishes to people. It will not be stable because we don't have stable electricity. And within a day, they can take the lights as many times as they want without any proper communication. I thought that doom lights now before they bring a release. Oh, this is the issues we are facing. So I think currently we can't depend on our own when it comes to AI, but rather we would be consumers. So the first is electricity. If you are able to tackle electricity, I think it would be best. And also emphasis on the skills and education. When we train people in AI and digital skills, it's essential because the world is evolving, and also the world is all about digitalization. Yes, it's all about digitalization. And mind you, our day in and day out activities is all about the internet. So when we train people, at the end of the day, it creates job. So aside Ghana being, or aside African countries also taking the lead role in AI, it would also create jobs for people. So with what he has outlined, I think it's a very good thing, because if you want to start something, you need to make sure that you tackle the problems we have first. Then you take it from there.
You take it from there. Miss Debbie, what about you?
Yeah, so the world is evolving, and we also need to evolve in our ways of doing things. Now, we delving much into AI has to do with focusing more on infrastructure. When I talk about infrastructure, I mean when you're talking about AI is not something that you just sit down and then you put in your mind that you want to do and you just start doing it. You have to get a structure, you have to get needed equipment and everything that is going to help you, bring that kind of idea into materialization. We see other countries and then we aspire to be like them, but they invest more into that. They have a well-built infrastructure that are so into AI. We do not have that, and I'm sure it is going to take us years if we want to go by that. Nothing is impossible for us to do. We can do everything at all, but that has to do with massive investments. First, we should ask ourselves, are we ready in terms of investment? Are we ready to invest more into that? Do we have the means? Or it will so falls on we going out to borrow? Because it would be nice if when you mention Africa, we also have an app that shows that this is made from Africa, or this is made from this country, and Ghana can equally do same, but we need to ask ourselves some questions. And then you see he also stated that he stated that developing secure and trustworthy data system is not only about coming up with AI and all that. The data, whatever we are bringing on board, is it something that we can rely on? Is it an app? Because all this is an app. The AI we are using is an app. Is it an app that it's secure enough, can save our data, and like before when we are using it, we are sure that our data and everything is secured? When it has to do with AI, digitalization, and all of that, it's deals with a lot. We need to put in a lot of work. Money will go in, time will go in, your energy will go in, and all these things are things that we need to put into consideration. Integrating ethical standards into AI deployment, ensuring technology transparent, fair, and accountability, promoting cross-border collaboration to create interoperable digital markets and enhance innovation and skill. So in a way, this AI also help, because I think recently there is an app that it's an AI app that when you want to seek for job, it's the app, like you just ask the app and then the app will give you companies that are looking for people, that are looking for employees, and then you just I don't know how true that is, but then we have an app that does all those things. So if in a way we are able to develop our own AI system, it's going to benefit us a lot. But as I said, we need to pay attention to some key things. Are we ready as it stands now? Are we ready to do that? Are we ready to invest our money into it? Because even the money that we have, and so we are still going out to borrow. So is this something that we are ready? If it's something that we are ready, then why not? Because I don't see this to be something difficult that Ghana cannot do. Or even if Ghana maybe collaborating with other African countries to come up with something like this, it's not something that is so difficult. We can do all things.
We can do all things. So it will get to a point that we wouldn't just be consumers of AI, but we'll also be a leader of AI as well. Government to roll out electronic road tolls by end of 2026. Government says Ghana will introduce an electronic road toll system by the end of 2026 to boost revenue for road maintenance. The chairman of Parliament's Roads and Transport Committee, Isaac Ejay Mensah, says all preparations are almost complete and the system is on track for rollouts in the last quarter of the year. He explained that the move is to restore funds lost after road tolls were scrapped under the previous administration. Before the removal, road tolls generated about 60 million Ghana cedis every month for the country. According to him, scrapping the tolls created a major funding gap affecting road maintenance and infrastructure development. The new system will be fully electronic, meaning no physical toll booths, automated payment systems, more efficient and transparent revenue collection. He also responded to critics from the minority, insisting they have no grounds to question the delay. Do you believe that the minority has no grounds to question why the road tolls has delayed?
Yes.
You think they don't?
Of course.
They don't have the effort.
No, they don't. Were they not the same people who cancelled the road toll this thing, and then they brought in what e-levy?
E-levy.
They said that is going to generate more revenue for us as a country, and they cancelled it. So you've cancelled it, and someone is bringing it on board. That has to do with a whole lot. So you don't just sit down and then you expect the government to work like a robot or magic, then it starts working. No. So what we are talking about, this electric toll and all that, it's going to take time. So now, as you stated, it's in a way digitalizing this electric the normal toll booth we know. Now it's not going to be like that. And I also see instances where they say they are going to track it with your number plate.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's just like when you use your ATM card and then you go to the bank, you withdraw your money, something like that. Automatically, they have something, I think transponders or something, that you use in paying the levy. So in a way, automatically when you get there is a sensor that is going to communicate, and automatically it's going to deduct that amount that is supposed to, and this is going to reduce road congestion. We saw instances where the normal one that we used to do, you see vehicles being parked open juma one by one. No, we bypass all those things, and then traffic flow, I mean, it's going to ensure that there is normal traffic flow. There's not going to be a stack in between. So in a way, this electric toll, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Electronic road toll. It will help. It will help us in various ways, because trust me, aside all this, it's also going to generate revenue for us.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's stated that it generates about 60 million
Ghana cedis
every month
for the country.
So just imagine, and then we have 12 months in a year. So multiplying 60 times 12, that is huge. So huge. I feel like, yes, it's going to help, but with the minority, they have no say in this.
They have no say in this. Ms. Gina, moving on to electronic roads, meaning that no person will be employed to go and sit in that cubicle and be taking money. Is that not in a way depriving the persons with disability of employment? Because formerly they were the ones that used to sit in those cubicles and take the road tolls levy.
Okay, so the world is evolving, and when it comes to digitalization, we need to make sure that we adapt to it as a country. In as much as it would inconvenience these people, I think it is in the betterment for these drivers, because I remember Ms. Debbie saying that when you I think the Tema motorway, people can be in traffic for like 30 minutes. Sorry to say, wasting more than 30 minutes, wasting time just because of road toll. So with the digitalization, for me personally, anything that brings comfort is what I would opt for. Anything that will stress me, I don't want it, and I wouldn't be happy with it. So I believe the government would find an alternative for these disabled people, that at least but if you want to focus on the fact that they'll lose their jobs and give them their jobs back, trust me, traffic need we are already facing traffic tema still, in as much as the road toll is no longer there, still traffic. So you can just imagine, even Kaswa, traffic. So with the digitalization, it will quicken and make things faster.
It will make things faster. That means that they have to also sacrifice and put these people also aside. So road tolls will be back again, but this time around it's going to be electronic. I don't know how it's going to work, but let's see how it's going to work. But
we're going to experience
yeah,
it.
we're going to experience it with our cars. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on the news review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 1867. U.S. purchases Alaska from Russia. It purchased Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million, finalized by Secretary of State William Seward and Russian Minister Edward Distoki. The treaty, signed at less than 2 cents per acre, was initially mocked as Seward's folly, but proved to be a strategic, resource-rich acquisition. Formal transfer took place on October 18, 1867. Moving on, New York City implemented the Smoke-Free Air Act, a landmark law banning smoking and vaping in nearly all workplaces, including restaurants and bars. Championed by Mayor Michael Bloomberg, this legislation sought to protect employees from secondhand smoke, with limited exceptions for, among others, existing cigar bars. Celine Dion, the renowned French-Canadian pop singer, celebrated for her powerful vocals and passionate performances. She was born on this day 1968 in Chalaingmang, Quebec, Canada. As the youngest of 14 children, she became a teen star in the 1980s before gaining international fame. 1856, the Treaty of Paris was signed, ending the Crimean War. At the Congress of Paris, officially ending the Crimean War from 1853 to 1856. The treaty, signed by Russia and the Allied powers, France, Britain, Ottoman Empire, Sardinia, aimed to stabilize the region by neutralizing the Black Sea and guaranteeing the territorial integrity of the Ottoman Empire. To some global observances, World Bipolar Day. It is a global awareness initiative aimed at reducing stigma, improving understanding, and providing education about bipolar, a condition that affects approximately 60 million people worldwide. Grass is always browner on the other side of the fence day. It is a reminder to stop comparing your life to others and appreciate what you have. It encourages gratitude, recognizing that others' lives often only seem better, promoting contentment with your own situation. Next, Visual Vacation Day encourages people to relax and explore the world from home using technology. This day promotes using VR apps like camps and visual tours to visit destinations like the Serengeti, Mars, or top museums without travel costs or parking. Lastly, Take a Walk in the Park Day encourages people to step outdoors, enjoy nature, and improve their physical and mental health. It is a perfect opportunity to distress, take a break from daily routines, and enjoy a walk in the local park, nature trail, or green space. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear of favor. The Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining has warned that Ghana's fight against galamsey is failing, despite what it describes as a promising start by the government. In a statement issued on March 28th, the coalition said its assessment of development on the ground, along with public pronouncements by government officials, indicate that little meaningful progress has been made in tackling the issue. The group expressed deep concern that the situation is deteriorating, citing the continued destruction of water bodies and forest reserves, which it says poses serious risk to public health and the environment. It has therefore called on the President to take urgent and decisive action to address what it describes as growing impunity among enforcement agencies and some government actors. According to them, illegal mining activities persist despite assurances that forest reserves have been designated as protected red zones. It's noted that the number of affected reserves is increasing, with thousands of hectares already degraded. They also raise alarm over the pollution of major rivers like the Ankobra River, Bream River, Pra or Finn, insisting that illegal miners continue to operate in these water bodies with little resistance. So the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey has warned, and then they are saying that it looks as if the government is losing the fight against illegal mining. And anytime we have to sit here and be talking about illegal mining, like, I feel some way. In a way, I feel disappointed, and I feel like we are not going to win anytime soon, because everything clearly shows that we are marking time with the fight against illegal mining. The actions of the government and everything shows it's giving this bad vibes and bad signal. Now, we've seen instances where military officers has been deployed on site. They brought up NIMOS, and recently NIMOS had a press briefing, where they said that these illegal miners are well armed, and as it stands now, they are also going to prepare themselves very, very well, and this is going to be boot for boot. So is this not similar to shoot and kill approach? I feel like we know we have a permanent solution for illegal mining, but we just don't want to go by it. We want to be cutting corners, but that is also not helping us. It's not helping us, seriously. Some time ago, we heard issues of a DC allegedly engaged in illegal mining, backing illegal miners. They arrested him, they granted him bail. And as it stands now, we don't even know how that issue we don't know how far it has got into. But this morning, I saw on the news that the president will be meeting CSOs, and they're going to deliberate on that. They will speak. The CSOs has promised that they are going to hit on that to the president. The fight against illegal mining, the corruption and all that, they are going to talk about it. But you see, just as we are talking about illegal mining, it looks so simple. It looks as if it's nothing serious. It's not that serious as we are saying it. I hope when we start facing the consequences, we will take it normal, just like the way we are taking it now. Because we kept saying that illegal mining is not going to help us. And even forests that have been designated as red zone forests, how cry mining. Recently, I saw a video where they said most of the rivers are recovering and all that. And in a way, they said it's just something that is not the actual truth on ground. And we are saying that this is not helping us. You might feel like you are in Accra, you are not there. It will affect you, because we all depend on that water. That river that has been polluted, we are all depending on that river for survival. And can you see now will be anything never? The main source is what is being destroyed now. And they are saying that political actors are behind this. Now, who are those political actors? Are they ghosts? They are humans. Where are they? Why is it so difficult to stop them? Why is it so difficult? And I really I would not say that they don't know themselves. They know themselves, but in a way, I say so obia DB. Just like the way some time ago we had instances where people were like, oh, see my buying abba, and say it's my turn to also enjoy. You know what you're doing is not the right thing. To what buying abba to be saying you nana. So please, Mr. President, this one we are pleading, we are begging. We are begging. Not every citizen will get that money to be buying pure water and be bathing every day. The people closer to the fire feeling the heat more than we those who are in the urban areas. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't pay attention to them, because as I said, when it becomes more worse, we will feel the heat even more than they will feel it. They are drinking contaminated water full of chemicals, and then they end up giving birth to babies that are not well formed. They end up contracting diseases, kidney failures, liver problems, and a whole lot. But this was part of your agenda. It was your topmost priority. You said when you come into power, this is something that you are going to look into. You will ensure that Galamsey is stopped. Yes, you are trying, but please, it's not enough. The best is not enough. I believe we can do better. And I know if we are serious with this fight against Galamsey, within a month we should be able to fight it. That is if we can clamp down on all those political actors. Because I will say this and I'll continue to say it. The illegal miners on site do not have money to be buying those chemicals. They don't have money to be buying the excavators and the champagnes. So who are behind them? Those are the people we need to arrest, not the people on site. If you arrest the people on site and then you don't arrest the people behind it, in a way you are promoting it because you are giving more room to people to do it. But when you arrest the main culprit, it ends there. And that is what we want you to do. For me, I still stand by my word. Shoot to kill approach. That would be the best thing ever. Thank you for making time with me on the School.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie. Thank you so much for joining us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly. Please stick and stay with us.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrochimemu, Era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be good among Ghana Muha. It is a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moon at the dia and you may come for GTR sounds at the Emao. Your live band in so our tones at the frame, ya beat me ababeboa. Ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi ane se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu wode angaza.
News, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, President John Dramani Mahama receives International State Person Award from World Affairs Council of Philadelphia. Minority dismisses calls for reparatory justice. Also coming up, Goldfields Reading Ghana project empowers over 13,000 learners. GTech denies University Council duties amidst calls for resignation. Demolition exercise leaves over 2,000 residents homeless in Tema Central. There is and many more coming up shortly in business, sports and showbiz. President John Dramani Mahama has received the prestigious International Statesperson Award from the World Affairs Council of Philadelphia, recognizing his outstanding contributions to global leadership, democratic governance, and international cooperation. The award makes him the first African leader to receive this honor since its inception in 1973. The World Affairs Council described the award as a tribute to President Mahama's exceptional global leadership.
Award, it made me wonder, what exactly does it mean to be a statesperson? What are the challenges? What are the expectations? I would like to share with you some of the thoughts that I have been grappling with these past few weeks, because I suspect that for many of you, the answers to these questions might be different. Not just from my answers, but from the answers of most African leaders. On the 11th of February 1990, I was among the millions who watched as the doors to the Victor Versa prison on Robben Island were opened for the release of prisoner number 46664. There was an overwhelming feeling of exhilaration and an almost palpable feeling of hope. It was thick in the air, and to be honest, even as I felt it, I didn't fully understand exactly what it was. It wasn't until later, as South Africa was preparing for its first ever democratic general election, I'd been listening to two pundits on an international news program. One was white, the other was black. Both of them American. And we were discussing whether Mandela was truly qualified to serve as the president of South Africa. He's a cultural icon, the white pundit said, but he's not a politician. You're right, the other pundit agreed, adding, he's much more than a politician. He's a statesman. And the utterance of that word, statesman, brought into sharp focus the complexity of what I had been feeling. That sense of hope sprang from the simple fact that Nelson Mandela was alive. Here was a man who had taken on the colonial powers, who had been labeled a radical and a terrorist because he believed that his people should be free. And he lived to tell the tale. That was actually an aberration. Being an African statesperson has meant, and still continues to mean, fighting for and protecting the sovereignty of the land and the freedom of your people, ensuring that the peoples of that land are the primary beneficiaries of its resources, and seeing beyond the artificial borders created by colonialism to enter into alliances and coalitions with other African nations that outline service and protection of our common interests and for our continent. It is with great reverence that I accept this International Statesperson Award for those statesmen and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice for their nations and for my continent, Africa. Those who did not see the results of their resistance, those whom history has exalted, they've charted a way forward for us leaders of today to follow. They've given us hope, a sense of purpose, and realization of the endless possibilities that exist on the African horizon. I'm grateful to the World Affairs Council of Philadelphia for this recognition, and I'm grateful to the good people of Ghana for the faith in which they have placed in me. a luta continua.
Minority leader Alexander Fenyo Makin has dismissed calls for reparatory justice. Meanwhile, the reparatory justice aims to address historical and systemic injustice by providing redress to affected communities.
Bet a vessel, a boat at Cape Coast, and you decide to go to the north, go to the Bono area, get to the Ashanti area, get into the Asin area, and you are chasing your own people, the strongest amongst them. Then after 100 years you say, I should be compensated. Who should compensate who? Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, I don't want us to create a certain impression that, expressing an opposing view to this whole reparation thing makes you anti-African, or you are not thinking about the suffering. Who suffered? We maltreated our own. We maltreated our own and told the white man that he should also maltreat our own. So, Mr. Speaker, the story must be told and be put in its proper context. It is also a fact that inhumane treatment, the unfortunate humiliation, the marginalization, the injustice, the abuse of our ancestors who became victims of this slave trade, Mr. Speaker, must be condemned, and I so condemn him. They were treated as less human. And Mr. Speaker, if that is where the argument is being situated, then Mr. Speaker, I'm all for it.
The Goldfield Ghana Foundation's Reading Ghana project has made significant strides in improving reading and comprehension skills among basic school students in Takwa and Swim and Prestia Valley. According to the project manager, over 13,000 learners from 37 schools have benefited from the 4-year program, which has also established 74 reading clubs to empower students and communities. The project, implemented in partnership with the Canadian Organization for Development through education, has trained teachers and provided reading materials to support literacy development. A midline study showed significant improvement in reading comprehension, rising from 16.02 to 30.61%. The Reading Ghana project is part of the Foundation's broader effort to enhance access to quality education and support sustainable development.
The import of the program is to improve the literacy and reading skills of our children. Why is that important? Because it offers the foundation of their education. If a child is unable to read, they are not able to even comprehend what they are reading, then it becomes a problem to the progress of their education. So the program started out with 37 selected schools across all our host communities, and even including those that are not. And over 13,000 learners have benefited from this program. And today we are excited that a number of them have made it to this stage of the competition as well. As part of the program also, there have been training of teachers as well, and the teachers attest that this has also impacted and improved even their teaching skills as well. We support with supplementary reading materials, and over 40,000 of such materials have been distributed across our participating schools to help the children have easy access to these reading materials to help with their reading as well. We have also collaborated with these schools as well as Code Canada, who are our partners, and the Olinga Foundation, who have been partnering with us for the past 4 years to implement this program in our communities as well. We've been able to implement 74 reading clubs in our host communities, and we believe that these will go to serve as a way of sustaining the program even when it comes to a final close as well. So for us at the foundation, we are excited because the report we have received so far shows that there's actually an upward trend indicating an improvement in the reading and comprehension skills of our children.
The Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, Professor Ahmed Abdullahi Chinapor, has strongly denied allegations that the Commission is overstepping its bounds by usurping the duties of Governing Council and Vice Chancellor of Public Universities. Speaking at the Kumasi Technical University's 70th anniversary, he described calls by some university teachers, Association of Ghana members, for him and his deputy to resign as baseless. The controversy stems from GTEC's recent actions, of which some university administrators claim undermine the autonomy of universities.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are also going to introduce the centralized application processing system where individuals can apply at one platform instead of having to buy 10, 15, 20 application forms. This is what we're selling, Mr. Chairman. As you may be aware, in recent times, we've had some of our colleagues in the tertiary educational delivery landscape describe myself and my deputy as incompetent. In fact, they've not also said we are competent. They said we should resign. In fact, we being asked to resign, we are not even given the opportunity to defend ourselves, either in writing or in person. And among some of the accusations was that, Chairman, we were usurping your powers, and at best, GTEC being the headmaster. It is instructive to state the coincidence of GTEC accept a publicly funded university to reverse fee increment of some 100 to 200% because approval had not been granted by the statutory mandated bodies of the state, and a union of that same institution asking GTEC leadership to resign. Mr. Chairman, I want to assure you that GTEC do not intend to usurp your powers as a council. Neither do we see ourselves as adversaries in the dispensation of a legal responsibility of being the highest decision-making body of this institution. The Commission recognizes and respects your enviable position and will do everything to protect safety. I think you should clap for us. This time, clap for it, don't clap for us. GTEC will continue to work with the different stakeholders, including TAG, UTAG, KAWA, TUSAG, TEU, FUSAG, Vice Chancellors of Technical Universities, Vice Chancellors of Traditional Universities, SRC, parents, and all the different players within the tertiary educational enterprise informed by dialogue to perfect that space. Once at this, Mr. Chairman, I want to use this opportunity to publicly commend and applaud the Vice Chancellors of the Technical Universities of Ghana for their very mature intervention during this period of seeming upheaval.
A demolition exercise in Tema Central has left over 2,000 residents without homes as authorities raise structures deemed to be illegally built on protected lands. The Ghana Railway Authority and the Team Traditional Council carried out the demolition, citing the need to pave way for development project. The affected residents, mostly squatters, claimed they were not given adequate notice. However, the National Disaster Management Organization has stepped in to provide relief items, but concerns remain about humanitarian impact on such exercises. workers. On the other hand, the Ghana Federation of Labour has called for a more compassionate approach, urging authorities to consider the plight of affected residents.
Demolition bi ekoso ye patemu ahanti membra sisi a be babadu ya no na TM before any soldier for ni nyina e wa hanum a omudwiri area ni nyina egu metwi ben engineer no abisa no de asi asa na omububu ha omutrese company na e wo ye chi hanum no omoto asasino e de ama 5-star company energy drink omamu ye energy drink no omoto assassine wa nim hanum e de ama company no na misi o say sa krapo na omoto assassine e de ma company ni krapa at least I was ombo ye nka ye be 3 months na say e bia omuma e time na ye ni nkrofo ni nkasa e bia ye betibia locate omo ba bi fufra na ye nka wasem ba omo si order from above say omo ba dwire gu nti say ye wo bibi kan dia ye nko bisa ye mayor bubu no dosu ba uba bubu obi a at least no awasa ubo nipa ne nka ya na say bia bibi wo honuma ya betimi aye anasa ya betimi allocate omo ba bi fufra yentu nu ha anamo asana ye bia other people na omo esa tete omo so omo be san ba bubu no asana omo akoso. For now they are about 2,600 plus. For now the people who are infected right now they are about 2,600 plus inti yesremo omo amu gwabonti sisi ade 2,000 plus echo into yesremo because adeni sunu obi no mu de omu niama echo ye nim ba bia omu ko nti ye bia so omu ba back there ye de omu su di no ebe kan listen no.
All of us cannot we don't have the means. All of us cannot have the means. All the figures are not equal. Are you getting me? Some of us have to live here and work. Are you getting me? If they say this area is not a residential area, so nobody should live here. Nobody should live here. Then why is it that companies around, they have residential buildings inside their company and people are living there and they are working there?
That's right.
If that is the case, then all of us should live in that area. You come here, you work. When you close, you go.
Think of what baby. And you happen for no. Happen for the 8. About time for young bank because of when someone to me go school and telling na is so quite a been dale. I saw that for the via can be try today and nimpona say nima mo phone bra asamato. Tienye boafo biala.
My mwabia muba boy esremu ekintankora oho ye ni bebia ko. Se ye ni ska so aye dibe ko ye kromsu. Nti esremu a muba boy.
Ni wa sa na kopa na we e betoko we no wa ha. But the animal 35 years in it. Every people buy a move by me. It's so my banner for mobile. No, I'm 2 years. Me never about tea. Me Timinda. Me Banumu. Obuisa. Obuisa clap for money, baby. I walk out, clap and baby. I ever.
In business, Treasury bill for last week were undersubscribed, with investor demand falling short of government target of 4.93 billion by 1.69. Auction results from the Bank of Ghana shows the total bid for 91-day, 182-day, and 364 instruments reached 3.94 billion, out of which 3.23 billion was accepted. A breakdown of the issuance indicates that investors still favored the 91-day bill, tendering approximately 2.55 billion. However, only 2.21 billion was accepted. Similarly, 182-day bill recorded 762.97 million in bids, with 661 million taken up, while 364-day bill saw 625.12 million. Only 359.70 million was accepted. Interest rates, however, continue to edge up. The 91-day bill rate rose by 3 basis points to 4.81% from 4.78%. The 182-day yield increased by 26 basis points to 6.62% from 6.36%, while 364-day bill climbed by 19 basis points to 9.77%. The marginal uptake in yields reflect a repricing of investor demand, signaling likely emerging uncertainties around inflation expectations. It also signals a reposition of market expectations ahead of the anticipated Treasury bond issues, which has weighed on demand. Looking ahead, the Treasury plans to raise a target of 4.67 billion in the next auction to cover both upcoming maturities and its short-term needs. To sports, the Black Stars are set to take on Germany in their second international friendly on March 30th in a match that promises to test the team's resilience and resolve. This comes just days after Ghana suffered a heavy 5-1 defeat to Austria, a result that has intensified calls from some quarters for head coach Otu Addo to step down. Speaking at a pre-match press conference ahead of the game against Germany, Otu Addo acknowledged the scrutiny surrounding his tenure. The loss to Austria exposed weaknesses in the Black Stars' defense and questioned the team's mentality under pressure. Ghana struggled to maintain possession with a lack of cohesion in attack and vulnerability on the counter. Many have pointed out that while the scoreline was harsh, it highlighted systemic issues that must be addressed ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Germany, meanwhile, is coming off a narrow 4-3 win over Switzerland, demonstrating both firepower and resilience. Critics suggest that the Black Stars will need technical discipline, compact defending, and quick transitions to mount meaningful threat. The friendly against Germany is expected to be a stern test. While expectations are tempered, it offers the Black Stars chance to regroup and showcase improvement before the global stage. In showbiz, Ghanaian music powerhouse Black Sherif has officially released its first single of 2026 titled Pop Star. The single, produced by Joka Nana, arrives on the heels of massive success of the album Iron Boy, which dominated streaming platforms, charts and stages across the continent. With Pop Star, Black Sherif pushes into new sonic territory while maintaining the authenticity that has resonated with audiences across the continent. The track reflects both the weight of rising stardom and the determination that continues to fuel his climb. The release follows a remarkable run of Iron Boy, an album widely celebrated for its raw lyricism. The project not only strengthened Black Sherif's position as one of Africa's most compelling musical voices, but also expanded his reach to a rapidly growing international audience. The 24-year-old also sold out venues in North America and Europe in a record time for his Iron Boy tour. The tour finally wrapped up with his annual homecoming concert in Accra, dubbed the Zamar Disco Concert, which sold out the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, attracting 30,000 attendees. Since breaking onto the global scene with a second sermon featuring Burna Boy and his solo monster hit Kweku the Traveler, Black Sherif has built a reputation for music that resonates far beyond borders, fusing elements of drill, high life, hip hop, Afrobeat into a sound that is uniquely his own. With Pop Star, he continues to push his artistry forward while staying grounded in the authenticity that defines his work. The single also signals the beginning of what promises to be a defining year for the Ghanaian star, with more music, global performances, and creative projects expected throughout 2026. On global updates, Austria has announced plans to ban social media for children under 14, becoming the latest country to consider restriction on children's online activity. It follows lengthy negotiations within the conservative-led three-day coalition government, with implementation yet unknown. Announcing the plans, Vice-Chancellor Andreas Babler of the Social Democrat said the government could not stand and watch as social media made children addicted and also often ill. He said it was the responsibility of politicians to protect children and argued the issue should be treated no differently than alcohol and tobacco. In future, said Babla, children under 14 will be protected from algorithms that were addictive. Other information providers have clear rules to protect young people from harmful content. Austria is the latest among a growing number of countries to consider restricting social media access for children, citing concerns about potentially harmful content made available to them on these platforms. In a landmark case in the United States, a jury found 2 social media giants had intentionally built addictive algorithms that harmed young people's mental health. Social media companies point to under 13s being disallowed from joining their platforms, though questions remain about how strictly this is enforced. Australia introduced a ban for under 16 in December, becoming the first nation to do so. France's lower house approved a ban on under 15 in January. In a post on Twitter, French President Macron appreciated Austria for joining the movement. The United Kingdom has launched a consultation on banning social media for under 16s, while Denmark, Greece, Spain and Ireland are also considering similar moves. Spain and Ireland for under 16 and Denmark and Greece for under 15. Austria Education Minister from Liberal News Party stressed the harmful nature of social media. The State Secretary for Digitalization said a draft bill codifying the ban will be presented by the end of June. The coalition government's proposed social media ban has been agreed alongside controversial reforms to secondary schools, including more lessons on democracy and artificial intelligence, and a reduction in the number of Latin lessons. And that's it on the morning news update. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the afternoon. Until then, do have a good morning. I am Deborah Adoso.
Ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You're welcome to this is actually supposed to be the second segment of the show, but unfortunately, my guests are still in the air. They'll be here very soon. But before that, you know how we do it. We are going to be looking at some interesting news headlines before we delve into the second segment of the show. This is actually the only online radio station you can carry along wherever you go. All you need to do is just get the app on Google Play Store. You download it, and then you join the conversation with us. You just have to, share your thoughts and opinions on the topic we are about to discuss. Yes. Good morning to you, Miss Debbie. Good morning to you, Miss Regina. You know what I nearly said? Good morning to you, Miss Debbie. Good morning to you, Miss Adoso. Good morning, Miss Anigba. How are you doing?
I'm good, Miss Fiagbedu. Your side?
I'm good. I'm craving for breakfast this morning. Miss Debbie?
But why?
What are you taking for breakfast? Somebody is disturbing me.
Who is disturbing?
So we are going boot for boot. From henceforth, we are matching energy.
Who is disturbing?
Don't worry. You know very soon. We are matching energy now. Right. What are we having for breakfast? What are we having for breakfast? You mentioned you were hungry.
Yeah. Anything. At this point, anything.
At this point, anything.
Yeah.
He didn't come.
Anything.
Miss Debbie?
I'm picking jollof.
Huh?
Jollof. Why? That's my breakfast. I need heavy.
I'm even silence. Anyway, so we'll be looking at some few news headlines. But before we look into that, about the incidents that happened yesterday at Accra Newtown and the collapse of the building I learned there were 45 members of a specific church in that building. And according to an eyewitness, the church begins at 12 p.m. and ends at 6 p.m. Anyway, that's not the main issue. The main issue is the building collapsing on these people and how rapid, our security agents were on ground to make sure that they get the people evacuated from the building and those that were in need of assistance as well. I think I also saw the Accra regional minister there. I also saw Henry Korte? Henry Korte. Yeah. I also saw him there. Yeah, in spite of, opposition, he was still there to help the people.
And politicizing it.
He did?
He did.
What did he say?
You didn't hear what he said.
Oh, I didn't hear what he said.
Miss Debbie, you didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, I think I came across it this morning.
What did he say?
I think he said
the only video I saw him was...
They are disrespecting him. Yes, he said when you are in opposition, you are being disrespected.
Do you want to listen to what he said?
Oh, come on.
That's what he said. He was being disrespected because he came there and then they are telling him to move and all that. But Vijana was saying something this morning. You are not a you.
You are not part of the rescue team.
Yes. So what are you... We understand, okay, you are in Greater Accra. Things like this are happening. You would like to go... I mean, this is not about who is the minister or not. You just want to go ahead. That is nice. But, we know we are presenters. Minya fire service personnel. So, imagine that there is a fire outbreak right now. We will have to call the fire service personnel. We can't quench it.
We can't.
So immediately they come, we have to step aside and allow them do their work. Now when my fire service, that means me person me go it doesn't
and mind
work
you,
like
lives
that.
are at stake.
Yeah.
And from one of I watched one of the bloggers live yesterday around 11 something. They were still there rescuing people, and he himself wasn't even able to talk because the security personnel said everyone should be quiet so that they might hear a sound of someone crying for help, so that they'll be able to rescue the person. Now, I was saying, and they said, go back. It's disgraceful.
It's disgraceful and disrespectful. I saw that on Ghana Web.
We are all. I said that we are. I was once an MP. Blah, blah.
This is not about you are once an MP Asemo. We are talking about lives. And then I realized that they said they were able to rescue, I think, 30 people so far. I don't know whether.
Oh,
yes.
I saw 16, and 3 people have been confirmed dead.
I saw it on CTO. They said they rescued 30
late
people.
at night, it was almost 20 plus.
He said, "Excuse me, I was sacked like a goat."
From Henry.
Yes, after being chased away from the unfortunate incident that happened yesterday.
But don't you think that we as citizens also should respect boundaries? Like incidents like this happen, then you see, you see the journalists, the bloggers, like they want to go inside, inquisitive.
For the bloggers and the journalists, we understand that is your work. The fire service personnel is not going to prevent you from doing your work, but even with that, you know your limits. If they are going, the day we went for the fire outbreak,
no,
we were standing there. They even gave a red notice. So they gave us a place where we would stand, then take coverage from where they are going to quench the fire. They didn't allow us go in there. So say one person also pursue work. Story of so that one, you know your limit. So cases like this, you don't overdo it. Now, my problem is, I saw really a quarter time. I
didn't even want to talk about that.
I want to know. We have churches that run 3, like first service, second service, and third service. But their own, I don't understand, because my church, first service is 6:30 to 9. Then second service starts from 10 to 12. But some people come after my church.
Third service.
There is another church and they run like three service. The latter part is I think from 12 to 3 p.m. That is people. That time then you come and pray and you go back.
Then pray in your house.
Yeah. So their own, I don't know. Did they go to church like maybe 12 and then close?
They said they go to church at 12.
12
and close
in the
at
afternoon.
6.
6 p.m. in the evening.
Of course. That was what the lady said in the video I watched.
What I thought are they serving?
And as said they are running shifts. Maybe it could be. Now it's difficult to get.
Shifts, the lady would have said it that it's a first, second, or third service. But so in the morning, what are they doing?
But you see, when you look at the structure alone is a death trap.
Yeah, I think according to what they are saying, it's an old building that
has been since neglected. 2012. And they've been using nets for service and up to now. So it's a weak structure.
So whether or not no signs for them to see that this building is not in good shape and that anything can happen.
And you will see. Because if a building is wearing off, the foundation becomes so weak until you see that the concrete, like a few, then you can only see the
iron rods.
Yes,
the iron rods.
So that alone should signal you that this thing. But you see, sometimes we don't pay so much attention to that because we have buildings that are like that, like Acha, Obia, Begiziko. So that will not even come into your mind, say, like something of this sort is going to happen. It's very sad, and then those who couldn't make it, they are so rest in
but this thing. This is not the first time we are seeing anything of the sort right here in Ghana. And people are blaming the government already. And I'm actually wondering, what has the government actually got today? Was it that they should have done better by inspecting these buildings to make sure that they were in good shape, or to sanction those people?
Is it a government property? That is the first question you need to ask.
So you don't think the government should have played a major role in there?
For government, yes.
When to a dying or Messi Wahi, say Bubua, government never check it, say, it's secure, it's not in good shape. No. It is the duty of the person owning the property.
Then the people who write stop working
municipals one.
Yes, so they are the ones who are supposed to do that work in place of the government.
Okay.
So you go around and then you expect to see that where they are building this building is not going to help. Maybe looking at this community, this place is a waterlogged area. We don't build there and here, as simple as that. So if somebody is building there, you give the person a notice. Then if maybe 3, 2, 2, the third time the person continues to do the same thing, the only thing you can do is you demolish it. But what do we see? We don't see those stuffs. Do you know sometimes even the person building it themselves on one day almost stop work now?
Yeah, I learned.
They are the ones writing it. Stop
I learned
work.
they write it themselves to prevent them to come and write it again.
So
they see it.
And then when the unfortunate happens, then we start calling government. The boy, bro, but government did not push you there. You get it?
We are our own demons and devils.
Yeah.
Seriously. Because you see that this building, now, as of for now, so almost as sorry, were they not checking the building before they were having their, don't they sweep? Don't they? No, because like even if you are sweeping safe, you'll be observing the building small.
With this thing there, I think we will have to like dive more into it and then seek some sort of clarification, because maybe a dino sino, maybe a mansuchin war assassin, and they might not even give you the permit to complete it unless that issue is being solved. Then another case is the church can say that the money they are having is not up to, so maybe they are still contributing to get the exact amount they need to complete it. But I feel like this should also be a caution to other churches too. It's sad though, because trust me, I won't dress and go to church and have that thing in my head though, that I'll go and I won't come back. Like how? So it's not something that they've wished for, but it's just I wouldn't say it's a coincidence too. When you're coincidence.
Oh no, this is not a coincidence. It's so sad. May their soul rest in peace. And I think the Ghana Fire Service have also done their part. They've done well. We also saw Nadmo also there.
Yeah, Nadmo.
And we also saw some people also volunteering to also.
Nadmo was.
Yeah.
Oh, Ghana, dear, basing your money there, we are good though. To help people out of such
we are
situations.
good sympathizers.
Yeah.
We are good sympathizers. Anyway, we are just hoping that at the end of the day, we hear that some people have also been rescued again. Check your buildings, check your surroundings.
It's very, very necessary.
This is actually serious. We had one happening at Melcom, Achimota. You've forgotten what happened at Melcom, Achimota. The Melcom branch it's also collapsed. A lot of people were trapped in there. You've forgotten.
Oh boy,
it's sad. It's really sad.
There are a lot of buildings in our societies which have a very huge crack. But anytime you see a crack in your building, it should signal you that this is an impending danger. But before, we hate renovation. Some will say if you come home party and come with the but this it is a warning. So it can collapse at any time. But no. I always say if you die, we will bury you.
But you see the contractors, is it contracted?
Yeah, the contractors.
They should also be careful, because you see now people are trying to manage their land. So if I'm not got 1 acre of land, and one see also say 10 on one land. Hey. 1, 2, 3, 10. So when you're building such a building, you need to ensure that the foundation is
very strong.
It's very, very
because
the materials was a comb.
Exactly. Because when you don't do that, pressure in na beda asie ho. Least mistaken from one I say bibia mo ase mo na ko be bro, because ebubu sana first begu. Look at what
Yes,
Kim
producer.
So please, we are begging.
Yes, just recently also we saw that a truck hit the overhead at Jolu, and that one too it hasn't been fixed. I won't be surprised if you are here. We hear that that bridge is broken.
But
We want to wait for people to die before we take actions, which is so bad. Right, let's dive into the news items we have this morning. Ghana's education must protect identity and inspire leadership, Kisi Ejaben. The special prosecutor, Kisi Ejaben, has called for a deliberate restructuring of Ghana's education system to ensure that it preserves the country's cultural heritage while also driving innovation and leadership development. Mr. Ejaben said education must not only focus on academic achievement, but also serve as a tool for safeguarding national identity and cultural continuity. Our educational system must securely preserve our heritage for any meaningful, desirable impact on our condition. Without such a quest, we lose our very selves, our legacy, our traditions, our achievements, our beliefs, our heritage, our history, our thoughts, our identity, he said. He warned that Ghana risks cultural erosion if its education system continues to neglect indigenous identity, noting that language, names, and traditions are increasingly being displaced by foreign influence. According to him, the preservation of heritage is directly linked to innovation and leadership development, arguing that societies that lose their identity weaken their capacity to create and lead. Mr. Ejaben further observed that Ghana's education system still bears trace of its colonial foundation, which he said was originally designed to produce a workforce for colonial administration rather than to develop independent African identity and creativity. He also highlighted the importance of integrating culture into learning, stressing that education must go beyond passing examination to preparing individuals for real-life challenges. Mr. Ejaben posits that Ghana's future development depends on an education system that preserves its heritage while equipping learners to innovate and lead in a rapidly changing world. So this is coming from Mr. Kisi Ejaben, the special prosecutor. And he mentioned that Ghana's education must protect identity and inspire leadership. And we have inherited from our colonial masters. We are speaking English. Is he trying to say that we should stop speaking English? I'm just saying, like, it's just a point I'm bringing out. Because, you know, our culture needs to be displayed in our education system. Our identity, our history, our heritage, the names, the languages. But as I say, unse brofo na ogba kwa na esero. Ba ukatwi na ogba ya esero. Why? Mrs. Gina?
So when it comes to our identity, it includes a lot, not only the language, the food we eat, what we wear,
exactly,
and how we behave as individuals determine where we are from. But when it comes to our culture, or Yaba Ghana, as he said, we've adapted to the language of these foreigners, which is not wrong. It's good to make sure that you learn other languages, because mind you, other foreigners leave their country, come to Ghana and speak, or to learn Chi, to learn Fafra, to learn Aigbe, to learn any other languages. We also have people in Ghana here who have traveled the world to learn German's language, Spanish, China. It is good, but you don't pay how would I put it? You don't focus all your attention on other people's languages. Imagine Ghana ni out to Ghana ha. Osiminti chi. Ni chrome kasanso onte. See, honestly, it's only Ghana for now. I've seen that thing no. Obe hu aigbe ni osiminti aigbe. Honestly, one call China ni chrome. Enka say onte China. Ebiana parents now say on share akolano. This Chinese ambassador to Ghana, I forgot his name. He has decided not to teach his child Chinese language into a Chernibanu language.
Is it Kofi?
Kofi.
Is it 50-50?
For he's 100% Chinese.
Oh, okay.
On also Chi Norte. Bane dear. On one Chinese simple. What bisano one language so who are we?
Language.
Who are we?
Apolano say, but when Bisan said it's saying, Apolani say a year. The last time I saw the video, I was like, wow. And the nanny is a Ghanaian. So when it comes to Ghanaians, I feel like we don't have an excuse. Yeah, they brought for some attitude and isudodo. What's a brought for? You feel say you've arrived, but you've not arrived.
Oh yeah.
What's a brought for? You've not arrived though.
You're
lost. Like
you're lost.
Your English comes when you see people.
Who never be slurring.
You get it?
If you don't never forget about it. No, you are lost as an individual. I understand we have allergies. But we say you are sick. You don't know your food describes you as an individual. Me, I'll eat fufu. In fact, I even know how to eat almost all the languages they are food. We eat kenke, we eat fufu, we eat banku, we eat wache.
We eat pachuku too. Pachuku. You don't know pachuku? Dry okra soup. That's for the Northerners. It's called pachuku, yes. Dry okra soup from the Northern.
I thought you said you've eaten it.
Why did
you? No.
The dark one. The dark one.
Yeah. I remember our church had traditional Sunday. I tried to bani for the first
time.
Oh,
really?
And very nice. And I tried one too. It's like wache, but it's not wache. That one is
wasa.
It's very nice.
Wasa with pepper.
Yes, I tried it.
And oil.
No, with the oil, it's very nice.
Oh, they have to be teaching us how to prepare all these things in school.
You see?
Oh, seriously.
And in school, we should have our own languages in it. It's only Ga and Chi. Either Asante, Chi, normal Chi, or Ekwapim Chi. That is it. That is all. It is bad.
But it also depends on the region you are in. If you're in the Volta region,
you have Igbe in it.
You have Ewe. You have to do Ewe.
So you see, with that we are learning our culture. But English in school speak Chi and C. Yeah, this knows by Google. I will never speak vernacular again. My own language. You are telling me I should never speak it again. But when you go to the outside world, Chinese, they use the Chinese language to teach these students in school.
This actually reminds me of an incident that happened yesterday. A friend called me and he said, Memawajo. And I also said, Memawajo. He said, you don't say Memawajo. You say, Yeja. You see, so you learn. How can you say Ma? You said Mawajo. It's like you're greeting me. So it's like morning. I was like morning. So that was what I actually thought. So I was like Memawajo.
It's just like you saying something like right? I used to do that.
So we learn. So I learned something yesterday. Memawajo, Eja, Yena, Yenya. Good. Miss Debbie.
So Ghana, we are busy living the identity of other countries, like their culture and everything. That is what we do here. And then we've forgotten about our own culture, what it teaches us, the practice. We don't even practice it any longer. And as we are saying, when you speak vernacular, everybody see you to be daft. They see you to be someone who is not intellect. You are not educated. You are not educated. Why will you speak Twi? And especially to now of late, there is something that is very common. If you speak and you don't slant your English, just say, maybe I will call school now. Just say you could be teacher now or show what they hear. So now when you're speaking the English, you have to shine your tongue and then say things like this has posed some kind of pressure on people. You are forced to speak like someone. This is you. No one can change you. Your version can never be found in the entire world. And that is why you are you. So the way you speak, I will not push myself to speak like the way you speak. That is how you speak. That is how I also speak. So your version, it is you. My version, it is only me. Regina's version, she's the only version. Original. In the entire world. So you don't force yourself to be like someone. Be yourself. That is number one. And that is what we are refusing to realize as Ghanaian. We are not being ourselves because we have this mentality that we are being colonized by the British. And so we are being taught by them how they speak, how they act. And sincerely speaking, when you take all African countries, Ghana, our English is very clear. Our English is different from other African countries because we are being colonized by the British. But we are overdoing it. It's like I said, we are now teaching them what to do. But there's one thing that I've noticed with this white. When they come here, they want to speak Twi. They are so eager to speak the Twi. They don't want to even speak their own language, which is the English. They want to speak the Twi. But yeah, no, we want to speak the English. English, and that is why sometimes when we go out to interview people and you're speaking English, and if in the or say speak Twi, why will you be speaking English whilst you are a Ghanaian? So sometimes, because you see, this is it. English and also I translate. So sometimes we will try translating it in English, Twi, but we end up mixing the Twi with the English. Because even some of the words we are speaking in English, we don't even know how to translate it into the Twi. So this is something that has cost us a lot. Hey, for the first time in history, OSP, Wakasa. OSP has spoken so well, and I think that is good. And Regina said something about the traditional food, and that is very, very necessary. For me, I'm a Voltarian, but in a way, I was fortunate to live in the midst of northerners and all that. So their food, even the way they dance, the way they dance and all that. Our language they pay and I mean to me, but their food and all that, like this stage is talking about the wasa, it's prepared from yam. Yes, it's prepared from yam, then pounded pepper with oil. That is their food. That's all. Yes, that's all. And then the tubani too is made out of beans flour. You can eat it with shito or with pounded pepper and oil. Then they also have wache. Like wache with pounded pepper and oil. Who said is it there? Wache with pounded pepper and oil. So they have diverse. It's good we learn our own language. Sometimes it's a shame. My dad has his language. Sometimes it's very sad when they ask you. I meet my dad relatives and then they speak to me in their dialect. Let me show money. Because I don't even understand what you are saying. You get it? So we are lost. It's not we are lost.
You can learn. But you can still learn. I don't know if you've also observed this thing, especially in our SHS, where, especially when it comes to the vocational skills, they tell you that, prepare something. And I want to mean kabenku. Because continental dishes.
Because from what I know, home economics, the teacher write on a sheet of papers for you to choose.
For you to choose.
The teacher know our continental. Who are you?
I'm not saying that we shouldn't do continental. As a caterer or a chef there, you have to learn all those things because you don't know the country that you find yourself in and but we allow the continental dishes override the local foods we have here in Ghana. And it's so bad.
Ghana restaurant to say spaghetti bolognese.
Free.
Spaghetti or modern milk.
That's all.
Bolognese.
So you see,
bad.
It's very necessary. The teachers should do more.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in JHS, BDT, we have the technical aspect and we have the food. So you will choose. So the madam that was teaching us the food aspect, she major in local dishes, yakayake with fried fish. There's tubani I'm talking about. These local drinks like asana, sobolo. That was JHS. So she taught us how to prepare all these things. So that time we were seeing her like, why will you be teaching us that when we have fried rice and you won't teach us all that? But she majored in all that. But growing up, I realized that it's very, very necessary because you need to know all those things. That is your tradition. Yeah. We want to eat rice.
As you have said, OSP has spoken. It's high time.
Don't let us swallow it.
It's high time that we inculcate our culture and identity as Ghanaians and Africans in our education system because it looks like we are losing it. Right, let's proceed. Mama to engage CSOs on accountability, anti-corruption. President John Dramani Mahama will hold a high-level engagement with civil society organizations at the Jubilee House on Monday, which is today, as part of efforts to strengthen governance and institutional reforms. The meeting convened by President Mahama will focus on accountability, anti-corruption measures, public sector efficiency, and citizen participation in national development. It is expected to bring together key stakeholders, including the Catholic Bishop Conference of Ghana, the Office of the National Chief Imam, and Imani Ghana, and among others. Civil society groups say they will use the platform to press the government for concrete action, particularly on illegal mining, widely known as galamsey. A member of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, Madam Sewa Awula Sewa, said the coalition would demand clear timelines and decisive steps to address the crisis. We are hoping that at today's meeting, the government will be able to answer some of the points that we have put and then maybe give us timelines as to when certain things will be done. For example, the expose by Joy, when will the DCE be removed from the post? When it comes to the diversion of the river and Cobra, when will we hear that it has been made good? When are we going to have all the chamfines removed from our water bodies? When will the Forestry Commission be given bulletproof vest? When will EI 144 LI 144 be revoked? She said. She stressed the urgency of the situation, warning that delays could worsen the environmental crisis. The engagement is expected to serve as a key moment for dialogue between government and civil society, with growing calls for stronger action against illegal mining and broader governance reforms. Illegal mining. It actually looks like this is actually one of the topical issues that these CSOs will be bringing on board with the engagement with President John Dramani Mahama today at the Jubilee House. If not illegal mining, what else? Ms. Debbie? If not illegal mining, what else?
If not illegal mining, the next will be corruption.
Corruption.
Yes. That is what we'll talk about. But I think the main focus will be on illegal mining. Illegal mining because, you see, one thing I always say is that don't make promises that will make it so difficult for you to fulfill. When you're bringing out policies or initiatives, be rest assured that whatever you are saying, you are going to do it because people are going to hold you responsible by your own words. So if you're coming and then you say you're going to do this, you're going to ensure that this is being done this way, this thing is being fixed there, and then you come on board and you do otherwise, it's going to bring a lot of altercation. People are going to question what you said. And this is it, because you said when you come, you are going to solve illegal mining. We saw communicators for this current government, from one station to another, saying that they said the first year in government, they are going to solve illegal mining. But as it stands now, it's like we've all lost hope. We don't even know where we are standing currently with illegal mining. Mind you, they say 90,000 hectares of forest reserves have already been destroyed. And even the rivers, the River Pra, the Bream, that we thought are recovering, they said it's just on paper we are seeing. When you go on the ground, Sekra. So what are we doing? Now, we've also heard instances that they say political actors are behind Galamsey. So it clearly tells us that when you go on site, and then I find you with Champagne mining on the Galamsey site, where did he get that money to buy that champagne, that excavator, and the chemicals he's using? It should tell you that there's someone behind it, because we saw an instance where a whole DC was being picked up because allegedly it was seen, or they were notified that he was backing Galamseyers and all that. He was arrested and he was granted bail.
Wow.
We didn't see anything of this sort. We don't even know how that case ended. We were here when we saw more than a foreigners trooping into our country, mining on our waters, destroying our forest reserves, and after they are being caught, what do? We deport them. All these are signs and signals that shows us that we've already lost the fight against Galamsey. Galamsey is not something that we need to fight with something like, it's not something that we need to fight with. How will I even put this? Wait, let me put it this way rather. Galamsey is something that we need to fight with, like vigor, seriousness, taking, let me say, wicked action. And that is why I always call for shoot to kill approach.
But David, why are you calling for shoot to kill?
I'm calling for shoot to kill because that is the only thing that can help us.
But shoot to kill is dangerous.
So we should die out of test. No. It's sad. It's sad because I wouldn't say that because I'm not in those mining communities in Medio. The only thing you and I can do right now is to keep reminding the government that this is what you've promised. Please fulfill it.
Because, sorry, not to interject you, but let's have a very conversational section here. Because I feel like, in as much as shoot to kill is actually the worst thing we can actually do to these people to make sure that they put a stop to what they are doing. But these people are equally armed as well. And it looks like if you are calling for a shoot to kill approach, it's like you've declared war with these people. Because it's going to be boats for boats. Since you've declared shoot to kill, whoever I also see also coming to shoot me, I also kill that person. Because that is how it's going to be if you're all calling for shoot to kill. Is there no any other approach we can go about aside the state of emergency, the shoot to kill, and arresting these people that we don't even get to see if they are being jailed or whatsoever?
But do you know of any approach? Do you know of any approach that we can use to minimize this Galamsey issue?
Unless maybe spiritual.
Because all the approach I know, we've exhausted everything, and Galamsey is still there. And the shoot to kill approach you are objecting. You know it has started. You know the Galamseyers have already armed themselves. The recent press briefing by NIMOS, they stated it, that these Galamseyers are war armed. And so even though they are not there to shoot anybody to kill them, but they will arrest you, present you to the right authorities to deal with you, the Galamseyers do not see them as such. The Galamseyers see them as a threat. So even before NIMOS get there, they have everything on. That should tell you that there is an insider. Because if NIMOS is coming to Anya, how come Galamseyers are able to know that NIMOS are coming here? So, We've seen videos where this galamseyers are bold enough to tell us that mudi tobe ba yes you tobe shamo mudi krantie ba the krantie be shamo. So this is something that should tell you that these people are already prepared. And just shoot to kill no never want master so or to push them to do that. So the best thing we can do is that we shoot, we kill, we shoot, we kill.
You think it's going to solve it?
And a way to solve, as we shoot and we kill, we also arrest those politicians that are involved. Because you can't tell me that Galamsey is just there. The lands and the waters are only destroyed by residents in that community. No, now. It doesn't assume. It doesn't make sense. It is the authorities, the politicians, I believe, the top people in government, I believe they are behind this. And before we can fight Galamsey, it's just like you uprooting a tree from its roots. We need to start from the top. Everyone that in a way, allegedly, is involved in illegal mining must be taken on, regardless of whether you're associated to the president, a relative, a politician, or whatever it is. You need to be taken on.
Miss Regina, are you here with us? How did you feel when you heard that President John Dramani Mahama has actually admitted that my own people, I'm aware my own people are aware, are involved in Galamsey?
He himself shouldn't even come out to speak it. We already know. Because when we talk about Galamsey, mind you, Galamsey is not a child's play. It's very expensive, which involves expensive machineries and also the excavators, the chamfines, and what have you. And mind you, these galamseyers, they do not have the money to finance it themselves. So it boils down to these politicians, these businessmen, the top officials in government or in power. So Sawankakra, we already know that this is what is going on. And that is why they've already politicized the fight of Galamsey. And when you politicize it, trust me, it will be very difficult for you to put an end to it. Because everyone is trying their possible best to make it seem as if this current government is not doing anything. The past administration is also not doing anything. In Galamsey, the shoot and kill is already in progress. Because these Galamseyers are already armed themselves. If they can boldly come out and is it brandish? And then you brandish.
Like in simple terms, like describe it.
Display guns on social media, threatening any officials that if you come for us, we will also come for you. Then it should tell you that the shoot and kill is already in progress. And see, if he doesn't declare it himself, they have already declared it themselves.
But do you support the shoot to kill approach?
Masa.
Mama, don't you see? But don't you see that as
what?
Declaring war?
When it comes to respond.
So they have the right to hurt other people, kill other people.
We are not saying that they have the right, but
they are doing it.
Because I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like this whole shoot to kill will rather escalate issues.
It is not escalating anything. Were you not here when the EPA was shot at? Were you not here? And some people even got hurt in the process. I think one journalist got hurt.
One also, they slashed his leg.
Yeah.
So imagine I'm on field, then you are slashing my leg, then I'll slash your leg too.
If I go, I'll make sure I'll come for you too.
So you have to go protected yourself. If they come for you, you come for them. But don't lose your life.
But every year we are selling form for military. What are they doing in a camp?
They are waiting for.
No, because it's serious.
To bomb Ghana first.
No, because we are not hearing any war or something. It's not like
they are deploying them to other countries. So.
What about we are our country?
Because they see Galamsey as something that it's
we were actually here when we heard from the government that they were going to deploy military men to the Galamsey site hotspots. They are even going to give them a camp over there, as in like a permanent residence for them. Where has it got into?
Nothing. No way.
So it clearly shows that we are not serious. One. They are not serious with the fight against galamsey too. And I feel like we should use other countries as a case study. Let's use countries like, is it Korea or those Korea, Japan, and Chinese countries. They don't joke with things like this. They will give it to you as it is. They will give it to you as it is, regardless. The Chinese, Korean, Japan, if their law is stating this, that is what they'll follow, and that is what they'll go by. When you flout their laws, it will go against you. But when you come to Africa, we are not serious. And because of the unseriousness of our leaders, like Adidi, so we don't take things so seriously. Now, say Chinese, you couldn't call for. If you the law, you will die. There is always a death penalty for something. As for death penalty, they don't joke with that. So we can equally do same. We are not saying that we want to kill a lot of people, but when you include death penalty in everything, there is this kind of holy scare that drops in you. You are so scared to partake in certain things because you know that when you are being caught, there is no amount of plea that can save you. As simple as that. So when we bring things like that, it scares people from such things. It's because the punishments you are giving to people is not hard enough. You could be to say I shall wine or say then you like that woman. That woman can come to Ghana, get a Ghana card, mine, and then fly out because she has a tape which have a record of nude pictures of members of parliament having an affair and all that. How can we solve galamsey?
You didn't go for a black woman. Chinese none of them.
Any
Yo, man, hey, honestly, when I heard that President John Dramani Mahama said that he's aware that his people were actually involved, he knows that these people are actually involved in galamsey. In a way, I felt happy. In a way, I was like, okay, so now that you know, what are you doing? That was the next question that popped out in my mind. I was like, okay, so you know that your people are involved. So what are you doing about the situation? What are you doing about the situation? President Mahama. So today, these are actually some of the things that the CSO said that they were going to engage President John Dramani Mahama on. Should give a timeline. Do you think at this point we actually need a timeline? Okay, so maybe
by the end of this month.
By the end of this month, we will clear all the champagnes.
Yeah.
At the end of this month, we are going to make sure that all the kingpins and the quinpins and all the galamsey mafias in these areas, we are going to arrest them. Because given a timeline, I think it's like you are promising the people and you have to make sure that whatever that it takes for you to meet that timeline, you have to do it. But these people are not even keeping to their promise.
Wait.
How much more a timeline?
Was it President Mahama or the former president that gave a 90-day ultimatum to fight illegal mining?
It was Nana.
And a 90-day now swap on. So timeline there.
Oh, I think Nanado also gave, was it a 2-year or 1 year break for illegal mining?
And he also for him he placed his presidency on the line.
The 90-day was Nanado. When he deployed military to
and Uncle Sibibia. Because
I learned I read a yielded result. Like it's stopped. But when the ban was lifted.
And they resumed.
And that was even worse. It even got worse.
Now we be a square.
Or we should just invoke spiritual
the ravens
themselves.
As I say, then we wanna.
Yes.
So what?
Yeah. So today there will be an engagement with CSO in the Jubilee House, and I believe it will be live. So we'll watch that, and we'll get to know what President John Dramani Mahama has to say. Right. Let's look at this. Ban on tomato exports. Traders demand urgent government action. Government is facing mounting pressure to fast-track efforts to achieve tomato self-sufficiency as traders at Agbogboshi market contend with rising costs that are steadily eroding consumer purchasing power. The situation has been exacerbated by Burkina Faso's tomato exports ban, which has triggered supply shortages and sharp price increases across a major market in Ghana. Traders say the surge in tomato prices is already affecting sales, with many households cutting back on consumption or turning to alternative ingredients. Some retailers report that the cost of a crate of tomatoes has more than doubled in recent weeks, making it increasingly difficult to maintain stable prices for consumers. Yeah, some more. At this juncture, what can the government do? Mr. China?
We import pepper.
Because they said that in place of tomatoes, now they are using other alternatives. And I'm wondering what other, okay, it could be tomato paste.
Togo tomato.
Tomato, no.
Togo tomato.
In place of the tomatoes, as I will use stew, now we need tomatoes. Then
So
use
pepper and onion and meat.
You really sweet.
Raw pepper, onion, and chena.
Okay, tell us what you sweet us.
Me. I should tell you what it will sweet us.
But what can the government do? What can the government do at this juncture?
See, we don't have any alternative. The only solution is to make sure that we start farming our own tomato. That is the only solution. If you want to be self-dependent when it comes to tomato, we need to make sure say your best start to say you dry idea. It will take time, but one step leads to greater miles. If you want to relax, we would be lacking behind, or we would be slacking behind. So this is the time where they need to wake up. Tomato seed. And I said tomato na kano. See, at this point, I'm getting tired with this tomato issue, honestly.
You'll be hungry.
I'll not be hungry.
What's the
I
tomato?
have pepper there. I can't eat
pepper
it.
and onion. Try, it's nice.
And even when you go to town,
But you know the one who said that Sunday when you came back and you were there was no tomato. What did you do?
I was hungry.
Well, what did you do?
So
and you know onion can sweeten the pepper.
Yeah, so I took green pepper, I took onion, and I took some of my mommy's fish. And I grinded it inside the pepper, and I ate it. I was very hungry.
We are not that.
So that was what I had to use in place of tomatoes.
So the only solution is to start planting ours.
Yeah, backyard garden. Backyard. I mentioned the last time that you unintentionally just pour tomato water.
And it will start.
Then it starts growing.
Yeah.
Unintentionally true again.
I feel like it's, shall I say it's laziness or it's what?
Laziness
because
is part in our mindset.
Do it. Our mindset.
And it takes time.
It has a time there to take, but let's just understand that the situation in which we find ourselves is a kind of a situation where when you try to save yourself, like it becomes so terrible, difficult. So this is the best solution. Let's start from here, at least one step at a time. We will get there. Burkina Faso na mono. They didn't just wake up and they became Burkina Faso. They started from somewhere, and it's because they have a leader that believed in himself and believed in his people, and that is where they are today. I'm not saying President Mahama doesn't believe in us, but I don't understand why you will still go there to collaborate or engage for what? They want to say on export. It's simple. They are focusing on their local processes or processing. So let's also focus on ours. As simple as that. We have the farmers. We have fertile land. So what is preventing us?
It has started raining.
Let's just do it. But even in this season, we are pleading with the traders. We beg them. Even that tomato say Bukra, we are buying 5 cedis. Where anyone we know that we'll buy 20 cedis. So we are pleading that at this small, like with this time frame, it should be in a way that we will help each other. If not, there are different alternatives. People use carrot for stew. People use other for stew.
What about the food vendors?
About this, as well,
it's very soon they'll start selling the tomato stew to us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In every challenge, there is an idea. There is a solution.
There's a solution.
So definitely.
Let's look at our last news story, then we call it a wrap. Complete Agenda 111 project and put them to use, Akufo-Addo tells Mahama. Former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is urging the current administration, led by John Dramani Mahama, to complete and operationalize the Agenda 111 hospital project. He made this call at the 100th anniversary launch of the Chebi Government Hospital. According to him, healthcare development should not be politicized, and completing these hospitals will greatly improve access to quality healthcare across Ghana. The Agenda 111 program was introduced under Akufo-Addo's administration to build 111 hospitals nationwide, especially in undeserved areas. However, many of these projects were still incomplete, raising public concerns. Akufo-Addo is calling for continuity in national projects, regardless of which party is in power. He says completing the hospitals will strengthen healthcare delivery. The projects are currently under scrutiny due to delays in completion. What's happening?
I don't even know why she's laughing.
Don't sit inside again.
Anyway,
you're laughing. I'm also laughing.
So they say you should complete Agenda 111 hospitals. This is a call from Akufo-Addo.
Former president.
But the Agenda 111 hospitals, were money disbursed for this project?
A lot.
So if they are not completed, can they give the rest of the money to the current administration to continue?
I mean, where is the money?
Where is the money?
Can I say the money is finished?
You know we have one in this area.
I never knew what Agenda 111. Like you are telling me.
Not to politicize this issue.
But they say we shouldn't politicize
Yes,
healthcare. And looking at the
yes.
points that we are in a no bed syndrome, I think this call there we have to pick it up.
Oh yes, it's a very good call. In as much as it's coming from the former president, I think it's a very good call, and President John Dramani Mahama will need to heed to it. I think his first term in office, he made mention of collaborating with is it the traditional or the Christian
Christian
Council to make sure that they are able to complete it. And with what you are saying about no bed syndrome, I think it is getting out of hand, and we need more beds, we need more health facilities. And when it comes to health facilities, we don't need to politicize it, because when it comes to life, it doesn't belong to the NPP, it doesn't belong to the NDC. So they should just find money. I think, and I believe it's not part of the budget, but they need to find ways and means to.
That's why he wanted to collaborate with the Christian Council to, So according to reports and statements, approximately $400 million has been disbursed for the Agenda 111 hospital project, with claims indicating that not a single hospital was fully operational by that time. Earlier in 2021, the government announced a 600 million Ghana cedis to fund the project. But so far, how many hospitals are in operation under the Agenda 111? Okay, so in 2020, 600 million Ghana cedis was released to the Health Infrastructure Account at the Bank of Ghana to support the implementation of the district and regional hospital project. This is the equivalent of the $100 million as announced by government, and will be disbursed to contractors in accordance with the project plan. The said amount has been released into the project accounts at the Bank of Ghana, but not utilized yet. Project commencement has just begun. So far, only 36 million Ghana cedis has been released as part of pre-restructure mobilization, following the commencement of actual project execution, as evident in the sword cutting ceremony of 17 August 2021, we expect to draw down various amounts from the accounts which would be managed by the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. Yeah.
You said 400 million.
400 million US dollars was disbursed for this project, but
For what? The Agenda 111
for the
project?
Agenda 111
By the MPP.
by the
When I
NPP.
checked, 4,382,860,000.
From which source?
No, the breakdown of the money.
The breakdown of the money.
400 million. About Ghana cedis.
The Ministry of Health is also saying that 17 million US dollars per hospital.
Per hospital.
Yeah,
so I read
together-
from Ministry of Finance also.
Okay.
That's where I got
then
these figures from.
I would say that the total was what you said.
Yeah. But I also read that an investigation is actually ongoing into this issue before they continue the building.
Yeah, there've been some
Should it be so, or should we be waiting for investigation?
Of course.
When people are dying due to no
But you
bed.
can't tell us this amount of money could not even operationalize even
like,
up to 5. No.
Okay.
The money is too much.
But at least according to the MPP themselves, they said they have about 10 hospitals. I don't know. But that is what they said, which I know is a lie. But they said 10.
You don't believe them?
I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't.
Yeah. So they are calling them to continue Agenda 111. It should be. That's how it's actually supposed to be.
Yes, exactly.
The hospital is not for NDC. It's not for NPP.
But
it's
the
for
thing
Ghana.
is, why do I feel as if it's intentional?
Oh, you think it's intentional?
Yes, like that is how
As
I
to why
feel.
they left the project.
Yes.
Why?
So you've pushed in like billions of cedis into the Agenda 111 project, and then up till now, half of crying to me and do baby. And then you are urging the next government to continue. I'm not saying it's bad, but how come we were not able to finish quarter of that? And no one is telling us what exactly the money has been used for. Maybe, okay, fine, we've disbursed that money, but part of the money was used in procuring the land. This is what we do. The contractors took this and that, blah, 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 blah. At least there should be some sort of update to us so that we will get to know what exactly the money was used for. When I saw that this morning, I kept laughing throughout because I was asking myself, so, and was it intentional that you intentionally bring the project on board, and then after that, you like what JC and then you're expecting the next government to come and continue without you accounting to the people?
It was such a brilliant project.
Very, very brilliant. Without accounting to us. So it's bad. This trend should stop. Okay? If you're bringing an initiative or policy on board, make sure that by the time you leave power for that 4 years, where because when you come to parliament and then you are sourcing for fund.
Yeah, sourcing for
when
fund.
you're sourcing for fund, you don't bring it on board and say you are taking it not to complete the whole project. The amount you are seeking from parliament is a total amount that you've sat down and then you've pinpointed and kept. You took note of it. Maybe you want to delve into Agenda 111. Okay, we will complete this Agenda 111. We need this amount of money. 1,000 billion is going to help us. I don't know whether the figure I mentioned is correct though, but maybe 1,000 billion is going to help us.
So it's just an estimate.
Finish, like an estimate, yes. It's going to help us finish Agenda 111 by 4-year term. And see, this kind of show on sir. Make sure that by that 4-year term, when we say be come and tell us. Be sincere. Be accountable and transparent to the people, the taxpayer. You don't intentionally leave it down, and then you expect somebody to come and continue with your mess. And when they are not doing it, you keep calling them. You should do it. I'm not saying it's bad, but at least it's a shame. Complete it. And this goes to, from now, all the, incoming government that will take after, they should learn that oh, if you know within 4 year time you cannot do anything, don't bring any policy. Let us know that, oh, Bano, you're coming to complete project that was started by previous administrations. It makes sense.
So any government that comes into power, make sure that you meet to your timelines. If you say that you are going to finish this particular project in this duration, make sure you do so.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, ladies. Due to some unforeseen circumstance, our guest wouldn't be able to join us, and then due to that, we wouldn't be able to proceed with the show. But we hope that you had a very interesting time right here with us. And thank you to Miss Regina, and thank you to Miss Debbie for joining us to make the show a very interactive one. We'll meet same time, God willing, tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach